Hey there. Welcome to this very important lesson about managing your expectations when it comes to Amazon advertising. As you know, advertising on Amazon can be an amazing way to boost your sales and really get the ball rolling. But as you dive into this world, it's important to keep in mind that becoming successful takes time and you won't see results overnight. In this lesson, I want to discuss how to tackle Amazon advertising with the right attitude and to understand that it's all about learning, growing, and getting better over time. So let's jump in and get started. Okay, so I have a list of key points that I want to cover. Hopefully this will give you a clear understanding of what to expect from Amazon advertising and set you up for success as you move forward with your campaigns. There will be parts of this course that will be similar to things you have seen or heard from others. That can't be helped. There are things that I have to explain, such as the advertising metrics and how I set up basic campaigns. These are things that don't really change. However, there is a ton of highly valuable information that is different and lots of tiny golden nuggets on the different ways that I approach things. I know some of you will want to skip lessons on things you're familiar with, and you can, but I recommend that you listen to everything. There are tiny differences in the way that I organize things or approach things that could save you a lot of time, money, or both. I've recently bought a few courses just to compare with my own, and while they do well to cover the basics of Amazon advertising, they lack the proper instruction on how to deal with real-life situations and problems that you may face. In this course, there will be over-the-shoulder training where I explain how I optimize my campaigns and also how I adapt to different scenarios. If you have just started publishing or are somewhat of a beginner, then there is a good chance that you may be lacking in some areas of the publishing process. What I mean by that is maybe your cover designs aren't at a good enough level yet, or maybe you haven't mastered writing persuasive descriptions for your books. There are many different factors that go into making a fantastic book, and this will ultimately play a part in how successful you are with Amazon advertising. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with being a beginner, but you must understand that it takes a lot of time and effort to achieve a high level, and if some parts of your book suck, advertising and showing it to more people will not help you, and you will be wasting your money. The better your books are, the easier your advertising journey will be. It's like opening a restaurant with an incredible location and fantastic marketing, but serving tasteless food. No matter how many people come through your door due to your marketing efforts, they won't come back, they might ask for a refund, and they won't recommend your restaurant to others if the food isn't up to par. In the same way as the restaurant, if your book isn't desirable, advertising it to a large number of people won't change the fact that it's not appealing to potential customers. The good news is you can still learn valuable information from this course, and you can always refer to the information in the future as you start improving and your books get better. If you are a beginner to self-publishing and still want to advertise straight away, that is your call. But if my prior advice doesn't put you off, then I would advise you to start slow, keep your bids low, and set modest daily budgets so that you don't overspend. If you start seeing results, you can always increase these amounts. Speaking of bids and budgets, that brings me to my next point. There will be some of you that want to jump in the deep end after going through the course, but please do it gradually rather than spending a few days setting up hundreds of ad campaigns with high bids and high daily budgets. The last thing I want for you is to jump in headfirst, get overwhelmed trying to optimize hundreds of campaigns, waste a lot of your money, and then be anxious about continuing ads going forward. Okay, so be patient. I understand that you want results quickly, but as I said regarding the publishing process, mastering Amazon advertising also takes time, effort, and dedication. While completing the course will equip you with essential knowledge, fundamental principles, and advanced techniques, it's important to understand that becoming an expert won't happen as soon as you finish the course. It's like learning to play the piano. Imagine picking up a book that teaches you how to play the piano. As you read through the pages, you'll learn the basics, musical notation, and the various playing techniques. However, simply reading the book won't make you an accomplished pianist overnight. To truly master the art of playing the piano, you will need to consistently practice and apply what you've learned from the book. Over time, with patience and persistence, your skills will develop and you'll become better at playing the piano. With ads, when you first launch your campaign, your ACoS tends to be a bit high. This is because you haven't optimized it yet. You haven't added enough negative keywords or products, and you haven't found the sweet spot for bid amounts. So prepare yourself that things may be a bit shaky for the first few weeks, or even a month or so. As you optimize weekly, you should notice your ACoS to come down and stabilize a bit. This is how it goes for most of my campaigns. What ends up happening with a lot of people is they will panic when they see the ACoS go too high. Then they start making huge changes to the campaign that will hinder them in the long run, or they will get spooked and stop the ad. This is normally the case for people that don't set sensible budgets and spend more than they can afford on ads. Especially in the beginning of your advertising journey, it's better to just budget what you can afford to lose. Set an amount that won't bother you too much if you lost it all and made no sales. You probably will make sales, but it's better to prepare yourself for the worst case. By purchasing this course, you are granted access to the dedicated Amazon Advertising Facebook group. There, you will be among like-minded learners who are also working on improving their Amazon advertising skills. This supportive environment will be for asking questions, sharing insights, and to learn from other people's experiences. In the world of Amazon advertising, things change frequently. Depending on when you purchase this course, you may find that the layout of the Amazon Ads dashboard is different to what you see on this course, or maybe the way things are listed when you are setting up a campaign. Hopefully, you can still figure out how to apply what I'm teaching, but if there are major changes, I will do my best to keep updating this course as time goes on and to keep it as relevant as possible. It's important to know that advertising doesn't always work for every book, even if it's a great one. I've created many books with amazing covers that I was sure would perform fantastically, but for whatever reason, they flopped. There are lots of factors that can affect how well an ad campaign does, like tough competition, an unpopular niche, or customers just wanting something different. Sometimes, no matter how hard we try, an ad campaign just doesn't click with the people that we're trying to reach or bring in enough sales. When this happens, it's good to know when to stop the campaign, take a step back, and think about other ways to promote your book. Yes, it can be a bummer when a campaign you've put time and money into doesn't work out, but learning when to make changes and try new things will help you get better at advertising in the long run. Alright, so that is it for this topic. Now you should have a better idea of what to expect as we move forward. Remember not to get discouraged if things don't go perfectly straight away. Keep trying, growing, applying the strategies, and learning from your mistakes. If you do need additional support, that is what the dedicated Facebook group was designed for. Myself and other members will always be there if you get stuck or want to bounce some ideas around. Okay, I will catch you in the next video.